Let's start the today's mock interview session, guys. So first question is, let's say a user reported one issue that he is not able to see the account when he log into CyberArk portal, like using that PVWA, he just log into PVWA portal and he's not able to see these accounts. So what could be the issues? How he can troubleshoot? No one? Guys, this is related to safe management. I hope you got the question. What is the question?
If the account is onboarded on different platforms.
Okay, so you mean to say different platform?
Yeah,
Yes, please.
could it either be that he does not have the permissions, he does not have the right permissions, or he logged into the wrong safe?
Okay, so when you log into PVWA portal, so are you log into safe or you log into that portal?
Okay, you're logging into the portal.
Correct. So yes, you said something related to permission.
Yeah, that's nice. And maybe he doesn't have the permission, or maybe he's using the wrong authentication method.
Okay, so if I say he's using the same method which he generally use. Okay, any more answer, guys? So once we finish this, there are I think 20 questions. Then I will explain each and every question in detail. Any more answer?
Same this that
Yes,
particular
that
user not have a
particular user
permission of
not
that.
give a permission of
Yeah, permission.
permission.
Like they not
Like
have
they
a
not
like
have a
limited privilege something.
privilege something,
Like not have a
not
much
have a
privilege on
much
that.
privilege on them.
Okay, I think there is a echo
Yeah,
from
I
your
think
side.
they go from your side.
Yes, why you were saying something? Please go ahead.
I said if he has a list and they use list and retrieve permissions, if he has it, then he will be able to see. But if he does not have the list permissions, he won't be able to see it.
Yeah, list permission where?
In he's in the safe in PVWA where he's supposed to see his account.
Yes, correct. So guys, it's related to permission. Where you store the account? You store the account in a safe. Correct. If you don't have a permission on a safe, how you will see that account? Cool. Okay. While logging to PVWA portal, a domain user means you are using the domain account, your LDAP user, and you get an authentication failure option. So what could be different like a reason on which what could be the issue like generally if you can explain anyone.
The user is not part of the CyberArk groups,
Okay, that's one.
or he used a username or password incorrect.
Okay, that's also correct. And
If the domain server is offline.
yeah, go ahead.
Or the domain account which he's trying to log in, right? That is not active.
Okay, correct. And
So maybe if he's using the wrong authentication.
Yes, that could be the also one reason. Any more reason you can think of?
Uh,
Okay, moving to our next question.
mhm.
You were performing a CyberArk health check and you found that PSM is disconnected. So what you will be doing to fix that?
Services.
Yeah, go ahead. I think am I audible, guys?
Like the
The
PSM.
PSM
It is
that
like
are
we can
blocked
just
and if
log.
data
If
cancelled.
there is any issues, we'll try to check on logs. Then after we'll check on the services. If there is a services is disconnect, the PSM services disconnect, then we'll go on again log if there is any
Which logs you will check?
The first way, like we need to log in PVWA. Okay, then we get the UI. So it is showing like the PSM disconnect. So the main problem, like the services will be stopped. So we just restart that. The second one, like Sudipta will be say like the reason.
Yeah, the first thing we'll try to check the logs of the PSM. Okay,
Okay, which
and
logs you will check?
I think we can look at it the PSM trace, right, or PSM console. Um, and then after we can look at it the service, whether the service is running or not. If we are not able to find out from there too, we can go on the event viewer if we can get something there.
Okay, so let's say you found something.
Uh-huh.
App user is disconnected.
Uh-huh.
Then how you will troubleshoot that issue? Let's say you found in the logs like PSM app user is out of sync.
So what we can do is like we can create a create file, and after and we can reset the password. Then we need to go on the private arc client, and we need to log in. And on the users and tools, we can update it. Okay, we and it's the trusted on the trusted. We need to go over there, and it will be suspended. The user is suspended. We need to activate that users, and it'll work fine.
Okay, let's say still that doesn't fix then.
If it's still not fixing, then we need to trace the log. So what is the issues? Okay,
Okay, let's say still showing the same issue then.
still if it's still showing a same issues, um, um, then we can look for other users. If it's other users is creating issues,
Other user means which
uh,
users?
P- there are internal the PSM uh, app user, and other one is I think gateway PSM gateway users.
Okay, but issue is with the PSM. Let's say PSM gateway is working fine then.
If the PSM there might be issues on the uh, not only the PSM or only the PSM the user has that issues.
Okay, okay, no worries. Well, yeah, one of the answer was totally fine. But as you know, if you answer something, interviewer may ask the again question out of it. Correct? He will just keep asking.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Moving to our next question. Okay, you joined the CyberArk team recently, like you are a new joiner. You joined a new company, And when you log into CyberArk portal, okay, you can see everything except system health check and administration tab. So what could be the issue? You can see the account
You are not
page,
able to.
auditor, you can see
Okay.
the reports, everything you can see, account, everything, except two things, system health and administration tab.
I think it still has to do with permission. I think the last permission is to be a user. Um, um, if you're not in the auditors group, the vault admins, or the safe managers, I don't think you'll be able to see. If you're in the user, if you're just in the user group, I don't think you'll be able to see the system health and nutrition tab.
If you are a part of a users, you cannot see anything except account page. But
Yeah.
here you can see account page, you can see the report, safe, everything you can see except two things. Any more answer, guys?
When you join to
Okay, cool. Let's move to our next question. Okay, there is a safe. You can take any name. Let's say admin safe, ABCD safe, anything you can. And in that safe, you have onboarded 100 accounts. And there are 10 users, and those 10 users have the full permission on that safe. Correct? Whatever permission you have, list account, retrieve account, everything, they have the full permission. But still, they are not able to see the password. What could be the issue here?
the issues is on the safe. He is not. He has a list and retrieve. Okay, but use. There is a
Full
list.
permission, like they have the full permission.
Oh,
In
they have a
that,
full permission.
yeah,
If the user put on EPB exceptional,
yes, go ahead.
there is a one options on the EPB transparent or some things. So over there we can enable inactivate the passport view. Probably the users are like the same things.
Yes, correct. Correct, absolutely correct. I will explain once we finish all the questions. We'll explain this in detail. Okay, but answer is correct. Okay. Next question is, client says we have onboarded 4 accounts in CyberArk, and I want to do minute audit. Means he want to do some deeper audit for the users who log in CyberArk and use those 4 accounts. So what we can suggest, because we are the CyberArk team, so what we can suggest best to the client so that his requirements can be fulfilled. Means he want to monitor in his team there are 4 users. Okay, he want to monitor which user is doing using which account and how they are connecting. He want to have a like in-depth audit or minute audit, you can say, for them.
Can we
He,
suggest we'll give
he is the
him
part of the
the
auditor. He must be the part of the auditor group and have list and view, retrieve the accounts.
Yeah, that's he or permission he is already having. Let's say the client is a manager and he has the full permission on a safe. He can still do the audit for them, but when those 4 users they log into CyberArk, they are using any account at a time. So if you want to do a audit, it's take lots of time to find out which account he can use and which account he need to see. He need to see the recording. He need to do lots of things. But he want in a easy way so that he just simply log into CyberArk. He can just perform this audit like this was done by this user, and that's it. And it's sorted.
If he wants to do it himself, then you grant him the privileges for him to be able to do that, maybe the VWA monitor privileges, the audit privileges. You give him those permissions so that he can do.
Actually, at a safe level, if you remember, there is a audit permission at a safe level. Correct? View audit.
Yeah.
So if a user is having those permission, so on that particular safe, whatever you are doing, you can still see the audit. You can still check your whatever audit activities they are doing, means user activities, safe activities, you can check on that. So client is able to do the audit, but he want to do for minute because there are, let's say I have taken the example of 4. Let's say there are 40 members in a team and they are using CyberArk. So I know like you have a video recording, you have everything. So how we can segregate like it, how we can make it a simple. So you just log into CyberArk and you can just simply see which user is doing what. You don't need to get into the data and then just filter out the data. Correct? Like you can download a report and you can just see which user have used, but that's going to take some time. Correct? You can see the recording, but that will be also time consuming. He want to make it something simple. So what we can
Okay.
suggest from the CyberArk side?
And then we should use the dual control. We should use the dual control policy so that when any of them logs in, he gets an email, and if to know who is trying to log into CyberArk, we can use the dual control.
Okay, but that will also make something because he need every time he needs to approve those requests. Yeah, that can be one
Yeah, we
solution, but
can
every time he needs to approve that request, and that will also make his work more complex.
generate reports to those users.
Yes, that can be done, but
We
again, let's say you are generating a report. You need to filter out, you need to apply many filters, and that's going to take some time. Correct?
yeah.
Because he won't, like, I don't want to invest much time on this. I just simply log in and I can see what user is doing what. Or it's simple for me. I can just see what they are using or what they are doing. Yeah, these could be solution like generating a report. You can dig into more into data, but you need to, I think, spend some time on daily basis because every day, daily basis, there will be new data. Again, you need to download a report and just filter out many information. And you can, yes, dual control also will have every time he needs to approve those requests. Okay, cool. So let's jump into the next question, guys. We'll discuss in the after we are completed all the questions. Okay, there is a critical incident reported by users that no one is able to log into CyberArk using LDAP authentication. So what could be the reasons and how you are going to fix it?
Actually, for this, the reason is like there is domain server is scheduling a maintenance or domain server is completely down.
Okay, and
I think
Yes, go ahead.
whatever the integrations we have uh, uh, did with the AD, right? We have a CyberArk Vault admin, we have a CyberArk auditors, we have CyberArk safe managers, we have CyberArk users, right? So that we integrate properly with PBW or not, we need to check those things. So and if it's if that is the issues, then we can just talk to the AD team and we can fix those things. And other one is whether the AD is working or not.
Okay, that could be one reason. Yes, AD is working, AD is down or not. Any other reason you can think of?
License expired.
Which license?
This CyberArk Vault license.
So if
CyberArk license.
CyberArk Vault license is expired, then your vault will go down. It's not going to, then everything will be impacted. Nothing will be functioning in CyberArk.
Okay.
Correct. Here, just your LDAP authentication, when you click on LDAP, you use your domain account, that is not working for any of the users. One reason is correct, domain could be down.
So there are so we can check the firewall too, right? Uh,
Okay.
we can check the firewall, or we can check the host histories on the vault, whatever the uh, uh, the address of the domain we keep it correct or not.
Okay, let's say yesterday it was working fine, but today it's not working.
Okay, if it's yesterday, then we can check. The only the reason is like, okay, we can check the firewall. Sometime like, okay, they can miss they can the firewall team can like misuse the ports. Okay, so we can check with the firewall, or we can check with the AD team whether they did something wrong on their end, okay, or the AD is down.
Yeah, that's already being, yeah, okay. So yes, that could be one reason. Your AD is down, your, let's say, okay, let's consider firewall is also blocking the communication. Which port is used here?
636.
Yes, correct. Any other reason you can think of? Okay, so let's,
We have to check into the log if user is a failed login attempts or any errors. If we are checking into the logs, we will get the authentication issues, right?
okay, which logs you will refer here?
LDAP server log.
Okay, where you will find those logs?
Actually, for LDAP server logs, we will get warnings, right? Authentication issues. Recently, while I'm doing lab, I got login attempt is failed because I have tried 5 times.
Okay, where you show those
These
logs?
errors we in private arc server.
Yes, you can see, but let's say it's showing something failed to connect to LDAP host.
Mm,
Let's say that's
and,
the issue
Um,
you see there.
uh,
And in lab also you might have seen those issues. When your AD is down, when you try to restart your private dark server, it will give the error fail to connect to your LDAP host.
Then we can just whatever the IP, we need to check the IP of the AD, okay, whether that is been implemented correctly on our host or not.
So if your LDAP is down, then anything you configure, it's not going to connect to domain.
Correct. Yeah, that is correct too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, no worries. Let's move to next question. Okay, user is complaining that password of their accounts are rotating within 90 days, but it should be rotated in 120 days. So how you are going to fix this?
So we can go on the master policy, and we can whatever the platform we have, right? For that for that account, we can just uh, uh, execute for that one.
In the password management. In the password
Yes.
management, we need to set it to 120 days.
Yes, correct. But let's say you set the 120 days also, but still that password is not rotating. Like CPM stopped the password rotation, means automatically CPM is not rotating the password. Then how you
We
will
need to
fix
use
it?
the change button, like for need to open that account, and we need to like CPM task we need to do change first. We need to click on change
No,
immediately.
let's say you want to set it automatically. You don't want to do a manual thing. Correct. You don't, every time you will not be clicking on change and changing the password. It should be automatically. So first is correct, like you all said, like it should be master policy. That's absolutely correct. But let's say now the password is not rotating automatically. So what could be the reason? Manually it's changing. When you click on change button, it's changing, but automatic is not working. Okay. You receive a notification that DR replication is not running. So how you are going to fix it?
First, we need to check whether DR service is working or not, and we need to look at it on the log, whether there is any issues going on, PADR log. So we need to look at it all the way down. We need to go and we need to look at it. What is the error it's coming up? So if it's then we can uh, we can go on PADR and we can delete those two lines from the bottom, and we can try to replicate, and then after we can see the logs.
Then still it's
Then
not working then.
we can so what is the issues on the logs? Okay, we need to look at it.
Okay, what could be the issues here? Any possible issues? Let's say yes, DR service is not running. That's one. Any other?
If the DR user is suspended,
Yes.
it will not work.
Yes, correct. That's another issue. Any more?
And also, I think if the private Arc server in the DR vault is up, I think it will also affect it.
Yeah, that's the same. Like if your DR service is not running, then your private dark server will be running on it. Correct. Any of one service is running at the same time.
I think if it's running both, like uh, uh, if the DR is also on, and production vault is also on. At that time, the replications cannot be happening, right? The data replications cannot be happening.
So you are saying when production vault is up and running and on DR side, DR service is running.
Yes.
So replication will not happen. So in which case replication will happen?
Only the
Is it correct, guys? Anyone want to comment here?
And also, I think for DR replication to run in the PADR file, enable failover should be set to no, I think, and failover mode should be set to no, and then replication will start running.
Okay, so your failover thing is going to impact your replication. That you want to say?
Yeah, because if the enable failover is set to yes, I don't
But
think replication will run.
yeah, that will be when you are performing a DR drill. Then only it's going to impact.
Okay.
Otherwise, replication
Okay.
is something like it's just replicating the data from one machine to another. It's just taking a backup. It's not going for a DR drill. Okay, so Sudeep, you were saying like production vault is up and running and DR is service is running on DR side. So when your production is running and on DR side the DR service is running, then only your backup will be your replication will happen. Otherwise, DR will replicate from which machine? It's replicating from production only. If a production side on the production side private arc server is not running, then how it will take the backup? How it will replicate that data? Because it's replicating from production only.
right.
Correct. Okay. So jumping to next. Okay. Users are, let's say there are many users, they are reporting one issue. Like sometime they are able to log into PVW and sometime they are not able to log in. Let's say after 1 hour or after few minutes, the PVW is working for them, and after a few minutes again, it's not working. So any specific reason you can think of?
Actually, they are using the check-in check-out options. Like whenever one user is doing the work, once he's completed, only other user will work on that.
No, that's something when you log in into PVW. Correct. That's after login thing. But it's about the when you open that PVW URL, sometime it's working for you, sometime it's not working.
You mean sometimes the URL will load and sometimes URL will not load, right?
Yes, yes.
If the URL is not loading, that means the PVWA app user, which is supposed to load the URL, maybe is disconnected, and then in that case you have to go create a grid file for the PVWA app user so that it can load.
Okay, but after some time, how that working? Because sometime it loads, sometime it doesn't.
And then they should also check the ports that 443 that the PVWA uses, if it's being blocked by firewalls or something.
Okay, but firewall will not be blocking after a few minutes or something. If they open, then which means it's open.
So we can reset the IIS server service.
Okay, so let's say still it's happening.
Okay, we can go on the logs of the PVWA. we can find out like what is the issues over there, or we can go on the event viewer and we can check on it. So whether that is the issues related to uh, 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 the user PBW is using PBW app user.
Okay, but let's say everything is fine with that PWA, then
Okay. So we can check on the vault like that. That is pointing towards the vault or not. We can check the IP address of the PBWA that is pointing towards the vault or not. We can check on that too.
okay, then how it's working after some time? It shouldn't work then at all.
No, sometime like okay, okay. If we was working for some time, okay, then we can reset the IS services, and we can look at it on the event viewer too.
Okay, but that's not correct.
We have to check into the PVW server network problem or network server issues, performance issues, sometimes browser compatibility issues. It will happen.
Okay, but let's consider it's same like because in organization we use Chrome or Edge, and everyone using any of one browser.
It should be browser cache issue.
Okay, then it shouldn't work after some time as well as.
So the user is suspended, might be that too, or for the
Which user suspended?
PBWA PBWA. I
App,
think
app.
app.
But again, the point is how it's working after some time. Yeah, that could be the issue when your PWA is not loading. That could be the issue. Your app user is down, your IS services are not running, or
Uh-huh.
like it could be related to cache cookies. Your browser, sometime you need to clear the cookies and all. Sometime you need to try incognito, and sometime your PWA is not pointing to the correct vault. Yeah, that could be the issue. Your PWA is not loading, but if any of the one issue is there, it will not work after some time also until you didn't fix that particular thing. Correct.
Okay. Okay.
It could be VPN issue.
Okay. Let's. Okay.
Maybe they are installing new servers uh, into their organization. Maybe it will impact sometime network issues.
Network we can consider, but if we consider network, it's going to impact everything.
Not like that. They are updating some patches into the server. In that
Okay.
time also it will happen, right? Sometimes we can log in, sometimes it will not work.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yes. Let's say if you are specifying for especially for the PWA related, yes, that could be one
Yes.
issue. If network team is doing some activity, and yes, it could impact your PWA. Yes, that could be one issue. Any more?
Yeah, recently we have done upgrade, right? Version upgrade. If
Mhm.
they are doing upgrade also, it will happen, right?
If you are doing the version upgrade, but it will fix after some time, correct? But it's not fixing. So let's say this issue is ongoing from last 1 month,
Oh.
correct? Because if you upgrade, so it will take some time until you just reset the IIS or you restart the server. It will fix. Correct. We can consider one issue that's the network related. Any more? You guys can think. Okay, moving to next. Your PWA portal, like you use that PWA URL, that SSL certificate is going to expire. So how you will renew it? Means let's say this certificate. where it is this certificate. Can you see? Let's consider, for now we are just taking this example. So let's say this will expire on this 20th of May. Okay, let's consider, because in your PVW also you have one certificate. That certificate is going to expire in few days. So how you will renew it?
Um, yeah, is it replacing it in is it replacing the certificate when you go replace it in the IIIS portal under the default website in the bindings folder?
Yes, correct, correct. So how you will get the certificate, a new certificate? Because
Log into PWA portals and go to the manage local certificate, your portal PWA server, and right click and request new certificate.
But let's say it's not connected to your certification authority. If your PVW is connected to the certification authority, then only you can generate a certificate from this way. But it's not connected to your certification authority. So when you try to generate a certificate from there, it's not going to work. Okay. What is account discovery, guys, and how it is configured?
Account discovery is one way to account on to onboard the accounts. Like it will directly fetch from the active directory which the organization is using, and then um, we can easily upload it by using the account discovery.
Okay, and how you will configure it? How you set up the account discovery?
So account discovery is a feature in PBW which used to scan on the Windows domain Unix local to get the list of the privileged or non-privileged account. So we can run that account discovery by using CPM scanner services.
Okay, correct. Can we onboard the database and website and other accounts using the account discovery?
No, we can just do it Windows and Unix only.
Okay, let's say you have a uh, domain account, domain account is there, which is used in database and website. Still, you can just onboard that account in CyberArk.
Uh, um,
You have one domain account, and using that
Correct.
account, you are using in database and website. And
Okay.
some network devices also, you are using the account, same domain account.
Okay. So for that case, I'm not sure on it.
Yes.
Okay, anyone?
You can't onboard domain accounts automatically. I believe. I think it's only manually domain admin accounts, right?
Yes, correct. Automatically you can't onboard, but manually, yes, you can. But the question is like that domain account is being used in database, in website, in network devices. Can we onboard that domain account?
No, it's. I think it's only Unix accounts and Windows accounts we can use account discovery for, right?
Yeah, that is only the feature that account discovery has.
Okay, then what is a domain account then?
A domain account is a Windows account.
Then it's nothing to do. You can use the domain account anywhere, whether it's being used in your work group or in network devices or in anything. But in actual, it's a Windows domain account. So why you can't onboard it?
No, that is a feature of account discovery.
Yeah, that's totally fine. But the question was like, there is a domain account, and using that
Hmm.
domain account, you connect to database, you connect to different platforms.
Hmm.
So can we onboard that domain account? Yes, we can. It's nothing to do. You are using that domain account anywhere, but in actual, that account exists on your Active Directory. When
Hmm.
your account discovery will scan it, it will scan that particular domain account as well as. Okay, cool. Okay, any one of the below users or groups are not added to save by default.
I
That's
think the operator one.
that's your defender certification question, guys.
Operator.
It's the administrator. Administrator is not added to save by default.
Okay, anyone else want to guess? These are four, and you need to select one. So I
I
think,
think
I
the
think
operator is the one. I think so.
operators,
okay,
Operators, yes.
operators B.
and okay, one operators, and I think someone is saying administrator. Any more guesses, guys?
Yeah, it's the administrator here.
Okay,
I don't think it is the administrator. Why? Because
Administrator is by default.
it is
So
present by default. When you uncheck the hide option, you'll see.
okay, cool. Okay, we'll explain when we finish it. Okay. Okay, what are the default parameters or identifier values supported by PSM when you create a web connector? Let's say there is a requirement by client and you want to create a web connector. So what are the values which are supported by PSM?
Um, let's see.
Okay.
Is it let's see. ID, ID value, username value.
Yes, one is
Um,
ID, correct. And
okay. Um, um,
ID, class, name, expiry.
yeah. ID class, I think, username, I
Name,
can't remember the
class,
rest.
and text.
yep, correct. Okay. Client is saying to you, like I want to restrict the access for some of the users. I want them, they can access CyberArk in between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. only. And after that, they are not able to access CyberArk. So how we can achieve this?
In dual control, we have an option to sign in between fixed hours only.
Dual control is something that is when you log into PWA portal. So this is something before login to PWA portal only. Okay. PSM must be installed within the domain, means on domain Windows domain. That's Windows server should be part of domain. But can we install the PSM out of domain, means in workgroup?
No, we can't.
Yes, it depends on the client. Like if they are using any um, particular, they are using any PSM as well, but it is mandatory for IT companies to use this as a part of the domain.
Okay, correct. Anyone, any more answer, guys? Can we? I think one we received, we cannot, and I think Janardhan is saying we can. So let's say we are installing in workgroup. So do we get any issues?
Yes, if like um, vault, vault is down, then um, we need to wait for the DR to up again, so we can lose the data.
Okay, but that will come into vault related, but it's related to PSM. So if your PSM is going down, it's not going to impact your vault. Okay, but yes, guys, you can install in workgroup. We'll explain. Okay, how to perform the DR drill, guys?
Yeah, we can perform it in automatically as well as manually. Like for manual automation, for manual
So DR drill means when the production is not working because of natural calamities or network issues. So the DR will production will not work. Then DR will be as a productions. So it can be run as a automatic or manual. That is called DR drill.
How you perform it?
So if you need to perform the automatic, so what you can do is you need to first the services you need to check whether those are up and running, and the last and when you're doing a DR drill, um, uh, enable a failover mode equal to yes, it should be. So that is a main key factor, and you need to on the conf dot padr.conf you need to check those two lines if you want to update up to date. So
Which two lines?
um, from the bottom,
Okay, those are related to your failover, or then
that is
how you perform a full
replication.
replication?
The for the full replications, you need to go on the conf PADR conf, and then you need to delete the bottom two lines. Okay, then you need to do the full replications
Yeah,
before you do
then
DR.
full replication is going to impact your DR drill.
No, I'm just trying to say like we need to back up all the uh, uh,
But
back up all the.
when your production is down, then how you will run your full replication?
No, that if it's that's fine. Okay, that is fine too. Then we need to do the we need to enable the failover equal to yes. Then we can just and what is what interval of time we have. Okay, usually it's set for fi- five five times. So it depends on company to company, like how many like what is a uh, uh, threshold they have created.
Yeah.
I will
Yes.
explain the steps for automatic failover.
Yes, please.
Like in on DR vault, first we need to go to the DR vault, and then we need to log into the DR vault and open the PAD or INA configuration file. And like we need to, in the configuration file, first we need to enable the enable failover mode is equal to yes, which is responsible for automatic failover. Okay.
Okay.
And after that, the private arc server database server we need to set is as automatic, because
Okay. Why we set
private,
it automatic?
yeah, because private arc server, it is depends on, like it is there is a dependency for the services, like private arc server, logic container, even notification engine services depends on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Database service, I think.
And then we go to production wall. We need to stop the private arc server from like we can stop it from this private arc server console or by the service. Okay. And yeah, this is what, and we need to go to DR vault, and we need to uh, see again, we need to go to the padr.ini configuration file. Sorry, we don't need to go to
Okay. Which log file you will refer?
PAD, PADR log files, PADR logs.
Okay.
We need to, like we need to mention the retry grounds. It will automatically do.
Hmm. Let's say, okay, let's take the example. Your failover completed, but still your private arc server is not coming up on the DR site. So what could be the issues there? Any?
We need to perform the failback operation.
No, on the, let's say you perform a DR drill, successful DR drill, and after 5 attempts, you see like DR is down, but private arc server service is not coming up. Means when you open the that console where you see that green and red button on the DR side, and you are seeing that still it's in the green, means that server is not coming up. So what are the possible issues, or we can get there?
Yeah, I think the possible answer will be, I think we need to check on enable failover equal to yes. We need to check no.
Enable failover, we need to
Fail,
know. We need to
and
make
then we
it.
need, yeah, on the production side, yes.
Let's say production is already
Uh,
done. Production is gone
Okay.
now. DR on DR side, and your DR failover is also completed, but still your private arc server is not coming up.
The private arc server service on the DR vault might not be running, or even if it is running, then we might have to refresh the services screen, because sometimes it shows as running, but it is not. So we have to make sure that it is running.
Okay, and
Sometimes the user is suspended, so we have to check the logs also.
okay, so your user,
yeah,
yes.
if in the DR vault, right?
Mhm.
If the disaster recovery service is still running in DR vault, the private app server will not run.
Okay,
And also
but let's say
in
your
the
when
DR server in the okay.
okay, so let's say when
We
your
need to
DR is failover is completed. Okay, so in that case your DR service will automatically go down.
Yes.
Correct. Then only your DR application, your DR failover is getting completed. Correct. One answer is correct. Like someone said, like the private arc server service must be running, because sometimes what happens, though all the services depend upon your database, but sometimes what happens, that service gets stuck. Like still it's showing like running, or it's in the stop mode. So you can just start it and see if it's coming. And after, even let's say after restarting your private arc server also it's not coming up, then you can check the logs. It could be the issue related to licenses expired, or your like some of the configuration file is missing from the vault. Correct, it could happen. Okay. Okay. What is the default PSM connector, and means which default connector you duplicate to configure your web connector in CyberArk? Like you create a web connector, okay, now you need to configure in CyberArk. Means in PWW you need to configure it. So which, and this is one of your certification question, Sentry certification question. Which default PSM connector you duplicate so that you can just configure your web connector in CyberArk?
Is it a PA client, PSM PA client? Is that the one?
That's, you are giving the name. You can name, you can give anything. Correct. But which default connector we duplicate?
I think. Oh, okay. I think it's a PSM VNC client sample. I think so.
Okay, that you duplicate for web connectors.
No, no, no. No, 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 no.
Yeah, is it the PSM auto dispatch skeleton?
Okay, still that is for auto IT, not for web.
Okay.
Okay. Difference between CP and CCP, that's our last question. What's the main difference between CP and CCP, guys?
I think CP is for critical applications and CCP is for non-critical applications.
Okay, and why this is something like why we only use CP for critical application, not the CCP?
I think it used a hash authentication, CP, and CCP doesn't use a hash authentications.
Okay, what is hash authentication?
So using we can calculate the I think that is a encrypted password. The script has a it's an encrypted password.
Okay, any more difference? Okay, correct. So let's go to our first question. So user report that he's not able to see his account while he log into CyberArk. What could be the issue? So that was absolutely correct. He's not having the permission on a safe. Correct. He can log into CyberArk, and after he log in, he is not able to see the account. So you remember in safe we have the list account. If you have a list account permission, then only someone can see the account. So this is something, the permissions are missing at a safe level, which you can always check. Second is, while logging to PWA portal, a domain user gets an error, authentication failure. That's also correct. You gave like it could be the account is not active or account is logged. He's trying a wrong authentication method, he's wrong, he's trying the incorrect username or password. So those could be the issues. You were performing CyberArk health check, found that PSM is disconnected in health check. What you will do to fix it? That was also correct. Like you can try to restart the service, because sometimes what happens, your PSM service is down, and then it will show disconnected in your system health check. But still, let's say you're restarting the service is not fixing it. You can always check on the logs. Sometime it could be the internal PSM, like users which are not able to connect to Vault, and then it will again show the disconnected. If that's the case, you can create a CRUD file and you can fix it, like which you already answered that.
In
Cool.
the production also the same we do, or like we need to check the files?
Everywhere whatever you do in lab, same thing you need to do in production as well as.
So Near, I have one question. So if that is not also fixing, what is the alternative route we can go for?
There could be issues like when your like storage on your PSM server is full. That's also it's going to give the issues. Your PSM connect, PSM admin connect is out of sync. Still,
Uh-huh.
that's will given the issue. Your recording folder is not in the correct path. Let's say if you will go to PWA portal, there is a
Uh-huh.
recording path is there, and that recording path, let's say recording path is there in C drive, but in your
Hmm.
PWA it is configured for D drive, then also it's your PSM service will not be running.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, you joined the CyberArk team recently and you are not able to see that. That was also correct, guys. I think someone said they are not part of the CyberArk Vault admin group. If you are a part of a Vault admin group, then only you can see the system health check and administration tab. So a user should be part of the Vault admin group to see these two, system health and administration tab. If you are making a user auditor part of auditor, still he can see that monitoring report option, safe related. But he will not able to see the system health check and administration tab until he's not part of a Vault admin group. Okay, there is a safe in CyberArk and 100 accounts are onboarded in it, and 10 users have full permission on that safe, but still they are not able to view the password. But I think this answer was, I think, given by someone was absolutely correct. If you will go to master policy, there is one master policy is there, EPV transparent connection. If you will click on it or if you edit, there is a option to allow the password, allow or view the passwords. So if you just impose that policy on a platform and you just like putting in the exception and you just make it inactive, you want to configure it. So any account which are onboarded to that platform, they will not able to see the passwords, though they have the full permission at a safe level, but still they will not able to view the passwords. You can check it's there under your master policy, EPV transparent connection. Okay. Client says we have 4 accounts onboarded in CyberArk. I want to do minute audit for the users who log in CyberArk. Like partially you were correct, guys. But here client wanted to make his work easy. So best way is you can create, let's say you can create 4 different accounts and you ask your users to just use those 4 accounts. Like let's say I'm the user, so I will be using one account only always. So which means client needs to focus on that particular account for one user. So he can just simply see the audit for that particular account only. You can create multiple safe. If you want to restrict the users, you can create multiple safe. So every 4 users will be having a different safe. If you want to monitor their activities and you want to segregate their part. Else, like I think someone said, you can have the exclusive policy, check-in, check-out policy. If you just apply that, there also you can see like who used that account, because that will lock that account. Correct. And I think someone said we can have the dual control that can be also done. But if you have more accounts, Okay, let's say there are more accounts and users are using those accounts, then it will be a headache for the managers. Every time he needs to approve that request. If they are having more managers or more leads who can approve, let's say 5 or 10, so it's fine. But again, it's totally depend upon the client. We can provide these solutions so that he can just uh, do a minute audit for them.
Sir, can we generate an activity report for these accounts?
Yeah, you can.
Activity report also gives us
Yeah, you can. You
details
can.
about their activities.
Yes, as I said, like reports also you can, but you need to dig into it. Correct. You need to filter out. When you generate it, you will find lots of things in a report. Cool. There is a critical incident reported by users that no one is able to log into CyberArk via LDAP authentication. That was also correct, guys. Your domain could be down at that time. And your bind user can also be, let's say bind user password is out of sync. Then also no one will be able to log into CyberArk using LDAP. Your root certificate is expired. Correct. This may happen because these are something every your certificate will be also having an expiry, and your bind account password also should be rotated after 90 days or whatever days you have. If let's say that password became out of sync, still you will not able to log in. Correct. Your LDAP going down will be very rare, guys. Correct. In production, you cannot think of your domain is going down. If your domain is down, means your complete company is down. Nothing will be functioning. You cannot log into your mailbox. Correct. You cannot access any application because everything is integrated with AD only, domain only. Nothing is going to work. So that possibility will be very rare. But your certificate is expiring, that can happen. Your bind user password can expire, that can also happen. Correct. User complained that password of their account are rotating within 90 days, but it should be rotated in 120 days. That was also correct. Like you can just go to master policy and you can just change, you can have that platform where you want to configure it and you can just change from 90 to 120, or you can just simply create a different platform and you can make it 120 days. But if let's say they are saying we are not able to, means CPM is not able to rotate the password automatically. So there is one option if you will edit a platform, periodic change. So that option should be set to yes. By default, that is no. In platform, if you will edit, if you will go to automatic password management, password change, there you will see periodic change. So that should be set to yes. Then only your CPM is going to rotate the password automatically. You receive a notification that DR application is not running, how you will fix it. So that was also correct, guys. So your DR might be suspended, means DR user password is out of sync, or the file which is referred by the DR to connect to vault, that has a different vault. Correct. So that's also could be the issue. Your DR application is not running, your DR service is down, then also your application will not happen. Correct. In the padr.inf file is missing. So that's the main configuration file of for the DR. So let's say that is missing. By mistake, someone deleted that file. So then also your replication won't work. Okay. A user reported that sometime they can log into CyberArk PWA and sometime it doesn't work, guys. So I think someone said it was network. Yes, absolutely, it may happen. Another issue could be, let's say, let's consider one example, guys. You have 5 PWAs, okay, and all 5 PWAs are load balanced. I am the user. When I try to load the PWA, so sometime it's connecting to that PWA which is up and running, which is working fine. But after some time, when I try to connect it's going to that PWA which is not working. So that then this issue may come up. Correct. Sometime it's going to that PWA which is already down, which is not working, and sometime it's going to that PWA which is up and running. So it could happen when you're out of 5 PSM, one PWA is not working because you are using a load balancer URL in production. PWA portal SSL certificate is going to expire. How you will renew it? So answer was correct, guys. You can in production, guys. You can get a certificate from the certification team. They will provide the certificate to you. Or if your PWA is a part of the certification authority, which will be very rare in the organization. If it's a part of that certification authority, means it's connected to that certification authority, then you can generate a certificate by going to that. If you remember in the LDAP authentication, how you generate. Similarly, you can generate a certificate in your PWA and then you can apply that certificate to the IAS web services under bindings, and then you can reset your IAS and it will apply a new certificate. What is account discovery? How is account discovery configured? That was also correct, guys. So account discovery is only for your Windows and Linux, or you can say Unix. But remember, if someone is saying it's a domain account you are using in different platform, yes, you can still onboard it. Still, your account discovery is going to scan that. It's nothing to do. It might be used in any other application, whether it's a Unix or database. It could be anything. But in actual, it's a Windows domain account. So you can just scan it. But that was also correct. You cannot onboard the domain account automatically using onboarding rules, which you configure for account discovery. But manually you can do it. Let's say you scan that domain admin account. Then you can simply go to those and you can select and you can onboard manually. Okay, any of the below users and groups which are not added. So the answer was, guys, administrator, not the operator. Administrator is the user which is not added to the safe by default. Rest of the users, your master operators, DR users, when you try to log into your PWA portal, just check this, create a safe and you will see. What are the default parameters? Identifier, that was also correct, guys. Your ID, text, class, name, XPath. These are the values which are supported by your web connector when you are making a web connector for PSM. Okay, client want to restrict the user access, like he should log in to between 8 to 5. So how you can do it? So this can be done from the PrivateArk client, guys. If you will go to PrivateArk client, go to tools, there you will find administrative tools and users and groups. And if you will, let's say you want to configure this for a particular user. So select that user and where you see the trusted net areas, just below that you have the update option. Where you have the violation option, there you have you can restrict their access. You can define the time there. So when that user is working, he should log in within that time. Otherwise, he won't be able to access CyberArk. It's there in your PrivateArk client under trusted net areas, from where you just activate and deactivate a user. PSM must be installed within the domain. So guys, that's correct, but it's not something we can't install on Workgroup. We can install on Workgroup. But when you are installing the PSM on a Workgroup, means out of the domain, what will happen? You won't be able to use that PSM fully. Some of the functionality like your remote app features, there it won't be working. But it's not something you can't install, you can install in Workgroup. But some of the features, like if you will try to connect to a domain, so there it will have the issues. But you can install. How to perform a DR drill? So that was also correct, guys. So one thing, when someone is asking how you can perform a DR drill, so always try to explain them about the automatic failover only until they are not asking for manual. So simple thing is, guys, when you are saying the automatic failover, always like you can start with the first we will check the replication, if your replication is up and running or not, where you can check in the PADR logs and you can find out there are no issues for the replication. It's able to replicate the data from production to DR without any issue. Then you can just check in your padr.inf file, your enable failover mode should be yes, and your PrivateArk database service should be set to automatic. Then it will perform, and you can, if you want to decrease that retries count, you can decrease it, but generally we never do it. And if you want to do it, never go below the 3, otherwise it's going to impact your DR performance. What is the default PSM connectors which is configured, which is duplicated? So that is PSM web app sample, guys. That PSM VNC is for the auto IT if you are making a auto IT connector. But when you are making a web connector, there you need to use the PSM web app sample, which you can find out in your under administration tab option, and there you will see the connection component. Difference between CP and CCP, that was also correct. CP is used for critical application, whereas CCP is used for non-critical application. And why this is so? Because CP supports the hash authentication. When you are creating a hash value, means one like encrypted value, which will not allow the developer to make the changes to the script or whatever scheduled task, whatever they are using to retrieve the password from CyberArk. Because that's our motto. If you are, let's say, after that also, if your developer is able to make the changes, then what's the use of CP or this CyberArk? They can print a password by making the changes. So to restrict that, we need to create a hash value. And if you are using the CP, then only it's supported. For CCP, it doesn't support. CCP is a much REST API based. Okay, so that was the all questions, guys.